I'm kind of conflicted about making this video. On one hand, the previous video that I got you guys was not factually correct. And a part of me is happy because that means Tom Brady hasn't retired, at least not yet. But at the same time, I genuinely feel horrible and quite embarrassed that I got you a piece of news that wasn't factually correct. And for that, I wanted to apologize. Typically when Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and literally the NFL's YouTube channel says that Tom Brady retired, well, you have to bear in mind, I'm not an insider. I don't know Tom Brady's dad. I don't know Alex Guerrero. I have no means of acquiring the information other than the trusted sources that we have that are insiders that typically 99% of the time get it right. And it seems like in this instance, Adam Schefter was so hell-bent on getting this information out a little bit too soon that he was actually incorrect. And this tripped up the entire world. You had a bunch of stars thanking Tom Brady for all that he's done. You've had a bunch of players paying respects to Tom Brady, and the entire world got duped in this scenario. But I wanted to apologize to you guys because I take this very seriously. I take my job really seriously. I am so incredibly appreciative for the fact that you guys put me in a situation where my job is creating NFL content for you guys, creating historical documentaries for you guys, bringing you guys high quality, well edited news videos within 20 to 30 minutes of the news dropping. And I don't take that for granted at all whatsoever. So I'm very embarrassed to say, and kind of happy to say, but also embarrassed for myself to say, that Tom Brady is not retiring, and the storyline behind it is absolute lunacy. So if you happen to forgive me for this situation, I am giving away a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel $500. I'm also giving away $500 to any of my followers on Instagram at @TheFlightMike. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The last time I made a video here, it was to say that Tom Brady retired. Everyone from Ian Rappaport to Adam Schefter to the NFL tweeted out and posted content on the fact that Tom Brady was retiring. And yeah, the moment I found this out, I actually took receipts. There's no way I'm letting these people off the hook. So here's how the storyline goes. And if you're a Tom Brady fan, it's time to celebrate. Earlier today, we got some breaking news that Tom Brady was officially retiring. As you can see from the NFL's Twitter account and Adam Schefter that broke the news earlier today. Things started to get a little sketchy once Tom Brady's agent put out this message saying, "I understand the advanced speculation about Tom's future. Without getting into the accuracy or inaccuracy of what's being reported, Tom will be the only person to express his plans with complete accuracy. He knows the realities of the football business and planning calendar as well as anybody, so that should be soon." So when I saw this, and ironically, this was also posted by Adam Schefter, a part of me was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like a retirement at all. Then a few moments later, we got this piece of information from none other than Michael Silver saying that a report for Bally Sports is that Tom Brady contacted the Buccaneers general manager Jason Licht and told him that he has not yet made a final decision on retirement. He's disputing the ESPN report. Licht is respecting Tom Brady's process and waiting for a definitive answer whenever it comes from the QB. Now, bear in mind, in the Jason La Canfora article that happened all the way before this madness began, he stated that Tom Brady is very respectful of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers process. He also didn't want to hijack any headlines from the NFL playoffs. And well, ultimately, it seems like the entire news today was 100% centered on this Tom Brady information, which was kind of ironic because the championship games play tomorrow, and then there's 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. I'm assuming that his announcement, and at least what Jason La Canfora was assuming, was that his announcement was going to be very shortly after the Super Bowl. That way he doesn't hijack any of the attention from the two Super Bowl teams. And that's usually when we start seeing dominoes fall. That was kind of the time period where you saw Matthew Stafford getting traded last year, so it makes a lot of sense. Now, Michael Silver continues to say that, for the record, I have 100% faith in Jeff Darlington and his reporting and know that he and Adam Schefter are extremely plugged in on this. just passing along the Buccaneers' current perspective. So this is insanity. I've rarely seen a situation where Adam Schefter, who is ESPN's top NFL insider, mess up a report. There was this one instance last year when he said that all the information I'm giving you about Aaron Rodgers was happening over the season and didn't happen recently, and a lot of people turned on Adam Schefter as a result of this. But as time went on, we finally got the information that we need to verify that the report, at least initially, wasn't true. First, coming to us from Rick Stroud, which is the reporter for the Tampa Bay Times, saying that he confirms that Tom Brady has called the Buccaneers GM Jason Licht to inform him that he has not made up his mind about retiring or playing in 2022. This has been handled clumsily at best, but Tom Brady is the only one who will speak for Tom Brady. Now his agent has said as much. Brady has told Bucks GM Jason Licht within the hour that he's undecided, so we should wait for his final decision. Kylan Mills then doubled down on this, saying that just in, Tom Brady Sr. tells K-Ron 4 News that his son is not retiring. Brady Sr. says an online publication started circulating as an unsubstantiated rumor. However, a number of NFL insiders are now reporting it. Now, if you're not convinced that this is absolute lunacy, I have more crazy news for you that is going to drive you crazy, because even myself, as I'm intaking this information, my head is freaking spinning. So at first you have Jenna Lane saying that Tom Brady hasn't informed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he's retiring. Bruce Arians told me he hasn't, and he's not even close to making up his mind yet, he told us. You have Jeff Howie affirming this, saying Tom Brady called the Bucs late this afternoon to inform them that he's not even close to making a decision about retirement, according to a source. And then you have Ian Rappaport coming out and saying this.
Nobody has actually denied that Tom Brady plans to retire. There's been statements that sound like denials. There's been Tom Brady's father telling Mike Giardi that basically calling this speculation and saying that he hasn't firmly decided. There's the fact that Tom Brady told the Buccaneers that he has not decided for sure to retire. There's the statement from Brady's longtime agent, Don Yee, calling this speculation, which is basically what he calls everything involving reporting. Anyway, everyone has said not no, but not yet. My understanding, confirming the initial report, is that Tom Brady does plan to retire. Talked to several people close to him that they believe he has played his last down of football, retiring after 7 Super Bowls, 3 MVPs, 22 seasons, endless Pro Bowls, the greatest quarterback of all time, all of that. This sounds to me, taking all this together, to be an issue of timing more than anything. Brady is very in charge and in control of his brand. He generally has fantastically well-produced announcements. He is producing a show on ESPN Plus about his entire career that has not yet filmed the final episode. I wonder what will be in that episode. That would be interesting as well. But this is not all buttoned up yet, but my understanding is the plan is in fact for Tom Brady to retire.
I have never been in a situation in my entire career where I've seen insiders go up against the actual family members of the player. And honestly, I don't know which side to believe. I know on one hand you might be saying, well, duh, Mike, clearly you should believe Tom Brady's daddy and Tom Brady. But for all you know, they could just be keeping their cards close to their chest and bringing out the information at a much more reasonable time once the Super Bowl is over, once the playoffs are over, so they don't take too much of the spotlight of the playoffs away. So I'm honestly unsure at this point. All I could tell you definitively for a fact is Tom Brady has not officially retired. And whether he is going to retire, and according to Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and all of the insiders, they say he is going to retire. And according to Tom Brady and his dad, they're saying that he hasn't made up his mind yet. So I'm going to put all of that out there and you could decide what you want to believe. But honestly, at the time that I'm making this video, I don't know what to believe. On one hand, he's wanted to play until he's 45 years old. His division is extremely weak right now. I mean, just looking at it between the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Buccaneers, the Buccaneers are poised to dominate that division next year. Maybe roster turnover makes him think otherwise, but I currently, at the time that I'm making this video, am very unsure. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.